The Spindrift Knight is back on Genshin Impact version 2.3 as the event-exclusive 5-star character to be featured on the first ever character event Wish 2. She is dubbed by many fans as the queen of physical damage because of her kit's mind-blowing potential to deal lots of physical damage to the enemies around her. We know her as the vindictive descendant of the disgraced Lawrence clan who's planning to restore the clan's former glory. She is on the gentle path of her elegant revenge. She is Eula Lawrence, captain of the Knight of Avonius Reconnaissance Company. Let's talk about Eula's elemental skill first, the Ice Tide Vortex. Her elemental skill has both press and hold forms. When pressed and it hits an opponent, Eula gains a stack of Grimheart, which can be stacked up to 2 times. Remember that a stack can be gained once every 0.3 seconds. When you hold her elemental skill, Eula will consume all the Grimheart stacks she has and deal AoE cryo damage to the opponents in front of her. Each of the stack will be converted into an Ice World brand that deals additional cryo damage to surrounding opponents. Also, when Grimheart stacks are consumed, the nearby opponents will have their physical and cryo resistances reduced. Eula's first Ascension passive adds an effect to her elemental skill. When 2 stacks are consumed upon using the holding mode of her elemental skill, there will be an explosion that will deal additional physical damage. Eula's cape is a good indicator of her Grimheart stacks. When the cape has faint light, it means Eula has 1 Grimheart stack. When the cape is shining bright, then it means 2 Grimheart stacks. Now, for Eula's elemental burst, its initial damage deals cryo damage to nearby opponents. A Lightfall Sword will be created and will follow Eula for the next 7 seconds. This Lightfall Sword will increase Eula's resistance to interruption. During these 7 seconds, Eula can gain energy stack by dealing normal attack or elemental skill to the opponents. The explosion caused by her first passive talents also counts as an energy stack. Remember, charge attacks don't gain stacks for Eula. After 7 seconds or when Eula leaves the battlefield, the Lightfall Sword will explode, dealing physical damage to surrounding opponents. The amount of physical damage will depend on the number of energy stacks that Eula gained. It's important to note that the energy stacks have a cooldown of 0.1 second, so if Eula deals 2 hits within 0.1 second, it will only be counted as 1. Also, gaining of stacks will stop as soon as the Lightfall Sword starts its explosion animation. The maximum stack that Eula can gain is 30. For priority, I preferred to level up all her talents to level 6, then prioritized her burst, the normal attack, and lastly her elemental skill. If you want to main Eula, I recommend to triple crown her. The complexity of Eula's kit comes from the stacking to improve her burst damage. You must gain energy stacks within 7 seconds after she uses her elemental burst. To understand how much stack Eula can gain, let's look at her normal attack. With her normal attack, Eula can perform up to 5 consecutive strikes. However, take note that the 3rd and 5th hits will hit the enemies 2 times. This means that Eula will gain 1 stack for each hit of the 1st, 2nd, and 4th normal attacks, while 2 stacks for each hit of 3rd and 5th. However, Eula's 5th normal attack has a long animation, so we usually stop at the 4th normal hit and do something else. Another way to gain stack is through her elemental skill. Using the press mode of Ice Tide Vortex will only give 1 energy stack. However, using the holding mode gives more stack because of the Ice World brand. It's best to use holding mode when Eula has 2 Grimheart stacks to maximize the stacks she can gain through it. Let's compare. When holding mode is used without stacks, it will only give one energy stack, and that is from the hit of the elemental skill itself. No Ice Whirl brand. Remember that the Ice Whirl brand is caused by consumed Grimheart stack. When holding mode is used with one stack, it will give two energy stacks, one from the skill hit and one from the Ice Whirl brand. Lastly, when used with two stacks, it will give a total of 4 energy stacks, one from the skill hit, two from the Ice Whirl brands, and one from the explosion caused by Eula's first ascension talent. From this, we can say that it's best to perform a full stack hold mode of her elemental skill when burst stacking. Thanks to Eula's second ascension talent, we can perform a full stack hold mode easier because it makes her elemental burst gain a stack of Grimheart. It also resets the cooldown of her elemental skill. To do the full stack hold mode, you must perform a press mode of E, followed by her burst, then holding mode of E. From this pattern, we can just add more normal attacks afterwards. So, press E, then burst, then hold E, walk for a few steps, then follow it up with 4 normal attacks. Dash cancel, then more normal attacks. The total stacks that can be gained this way is 12. Walking after hold E is important to avoid doing another hit within 0.1 second. On the other hand, dash cancelling will cancel the 4th normal attack animation, so you can do another set of normal attacks with the least spent time. We can further improve this by switching the first 4 normal attacks with the hold E. So it will be press E, then burst, then 4 normal attacks. Right after the 4th normal attack hits, don't wait for the animation to finish. Do the hold E right away, walk for a few steps, then follow it with 3 to 4 normal attacks. The total stacks can be gained here is 13 to 14, depending whether your last attack from the combo will hit. When you have a C0 Eula, the maximum possible stacks for burst is 14. So when can we achieve the 30 stacks? Let's see her constellations. Eula's first constellation increases Eula's physical damage by 30% whenever Grimheart stacks are consumed. Her C2 makes the cooldown of her elemental skill's holding mode same as its press mode. This means that you may use her elemental skill more frequently, but it doesn't really much affect the burst combo. Her C4 increases the damage of Lightfall Swords by 25% to enemies with less than 50% HP. Finally, her C6 makes her burst starts with 5 energy stacks. In addition, each Eula's hit has a 50% chance to grant an additional stack. So, this means that the 30 stacks is achievable only at Eula's C6. Let's say you already perfected Eula's combo and can always do 14 stacks. That means your minimum burst stack will be 19 and can gain more depending on the RNG. The Song of the Broken Pines is her best in slot if you want to achieve big numbers with Eula's burst. It increases attack by 16% at R1. It also provides additional attack speed buff and further attack increase, but it requires little action to proc it. Wolf's Gravestone is close to Song of the Broken Pines in terms of burst damage and at the same time good for generic usage. Skyward Pride and the Unforged are also great for Eula. However, for the Unforged, take note that you need a good shielder to maximize its potential. If you are willing to buy a battle pass, the Claymore Serpent Spine is an excellent 4-star option for Eula. It can help to achieve a good crit rate to crit damage ratio, and it also has damage boost for every 4 seconds Eula is on the field. Another excellent 4-star option is Akumaru. It can do decent damage, especially when other characters in the party have high energy recharge or are wearing 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. Examples are Raiden Shogun and Beidou. However, Akumaru is an event-exclusive weapon, so you will need to wait for it to be up in a Weapon Wish banner. Free-to-play options are Snow-Tombed Star Silver, Prototype Archaic, and Luxurious Sea Lord. All these 3 claimers work well with Eula. The 4-piece Pale Flame set is the best artifact for Eula. Its 2-piece set increases physical damage by 25%, while 4-piece set provides up to 18% attack increase and additional 25% physical damage, but only after you hit enemies with Eula's elemental skill twice. So, if you want to use Pale Flame, you must add an additional press E at the start of Eula's combo to trigger Pale Flame's effect. If you are having trouble getting used to Pale Flame proc or not being so lucky with its substats, you may also opt to use 2-piece Pale Flame and 2-piece Bloodstained. It gives the same 50% of total physical damage increase with a simplified and more consistent usage. However, you will lose the potential additional 18% attack increase. For the stats, you want attack percent for the sands, physical damage bonus for the goblet, and crit rate or crit damage for the circlet depending on what you need to balance your crit ratio. For the substats, crit rate and crit damage with good values followed by attack percent. The fourth could either be flat attack or energy recharge, but it's recommended to give Eula some ER like around 130% to 150%. This can shorten the time for Eula's Q to be up again. The first character you need in Eula's party is an Electro character that can continuously apply Electro to opponents even while off-field, like Raiden Shogun, Liza, Fischl, or Beidou. This is to constantly apply Superconduct Reaction, which reduces the physical resistance of enemies by 40% for 12 seconds. If you want big numbers from Eula's burst, Raiden Shogun can help because her Eye of the Stormy Judgment increases the elemental burst damage of the active character. Liza's burst, on the other hand, decreases the opponent's defense by 15% for 10 seconds, provided Liza has reached her second ascension. From here on, there are different options that you may take. You may include Zhongli wearing Tenacity of the Millelith, plus another Geo character like Albedo. This setup will give 3 more buffs, one from the Geo Resonance, then the attack increase from the Tenacity, and the physical resistance reduction from Zhongli's Jade Shield. If you don't have Zhongli, you may opt to include the Yona instead for shielding and Cryo Resonance. You may also choose Rosaria for Cryo Resonance and for extra crit rate. Rosaria C6 also decreases opponents' physical resistance by 20%. You may have both Diona and Rosaria too. Another way is to add another Electro character for Electro Resonance. This is very helpful to quickly up the burst of your sub-DPS Electro character that you may use every time Eula's burst is down. Classic option, of course, is to have Bennett in the party. With Bennett, you may include Xinyan as your shielder, giving 2 more VOPs, attack increase from Cryo Resonance, and 15% increased physical damage boost while shielded by Xinyan's elemental skill, provided that Xinyan has already her second passive talent unlocked. Here's a short showcase of Z0 Eula. If you like this video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss my future videos. Thanks for watching.